Hey, 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 out there, internet land. Welcome to this live edition of Coffee with Chris. It's behind the scenes of in the life of a business owner. My name is Christopher C. Day, and I am a small business owner in San Antonio, Texas. My wife and I currently have a portfolio of about a dozen companies, and over the past 4 years, we have built, bought, and sold right around 30 businesses. So this is pretty much what it's like day in and day out. I have decided to start coming to you guys regularly live to kind of show you what it takes to do that. I think that there's probably a lot of misconceptions about what it takes to actually run businesses. And guys, it's not as hard as you think. It doesn't take as much as you really think, but probably some things that you haven't thought about. So that's why I wanted to come to you guys and show you exactly how that's done. Now, in order to do that, I'll be coming to you in a split cam fashion to where we've got this here. So you're actually here able to see what I'm working with. And right now I've got this screen turned off simply because it's bright on the camera. But yeah, so I'm generally working with three screens here, a couple of devices, and a tablet as well. And on the other side of the table, there's another laptop that my wife Denise usually runs to help facilitate all of these things. So that's kind of how that works. We're dealing with like 6 or 7 screens to do this, and keep in mind, it's not like I just run internet businesses, right? This just happens to be the way that it makes it work for the streaming and everything else here in the studio. So, by the way, I am new to streaming. This is not, I'm not a professional, right? My whole thing is I want to bring you guys some good content. And when we talk about good content, what does that mean? Content that's educational, content that simplifies your life, content that answers the questions that you've had about certain topics and situations and things like that. Even the split cam view. I know a lot of YouTubers. I've looked around. What does their setup look like? How do they operate? What is the process of getting a video going? Pushing go. Well, for me, this setup, just to show you, has two cameras in it that are active at the moment. I've got the camera that I'm talking to now and this talking head, and then we've got the behind the scenes camera. So both of them are simple little cameras, little 4K. One's a webcam, and the other one is a little handheld 4K cam that I got for like $125 3 years ago, and I just plug it in and use it as a webcam. That happens to work well. I don't even have to record on it. Everything is right here on the computer. You can even hear my dogs outside barking. So this is about as real as you get, guys. There are times to where it may be a little bit boring. There may be times to where you may not know exactly what in the hell is he doing. He's just staring at a screen or what have you. Look, during that time, I want to stay plugged in with you. I want to stay in the mix with what you guys are doing. So what I plan on doing, as a matter of fact, I'm going to pull up my little chat box right now because it should allow me to see if you guys happen to chat, say anything to me, or anything at all. So we do want to make sure that I have that because talking to you guys is very important, especially when we're running a video like this. I mean, the reason I'm doing it live is so that you can see a real deal account of, what it takes to do this, how hard it is and everything else. So that's kind of the idea. Now I'm trying to dock this thing, and I'm not sure exactly why it's not docking, but it should dock. Okay, I'm going to send a message out to you guys. Welcome everyone to live broadcast. Yay, okay. And there it is. Welcome everyone to the live broadcast. All right, back at you. So some of the things I'm going to be doing is adding media to these so that you're not just sitting back bored, right? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to kill my microphone and I'm going to turn on some music, just some background noise. I will probably slip into a screen share, and you can see I'm just going to the audio library and I'm going to grab some music. So that's what I plan on doing. Now, I'm not sure. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm not going to play the music right now. I'm going to screen share and let you guys hear some of this stuff along with me. I'm looking for, let's see, let's just screen share now and do that. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's okay, we're in the Creator Studio, going to Audio Library. And now we're just going to scroll down here and see what we can find. I'm looking for some jazz. Now I have some, so we're just going to click on filter by jazz and blues. There we are. Let's listen to some of these, see what they sound like. It's all right, but I think I have that. Called Gridlock. We'll see what it sounds like. Kind of darker, kind of sinister. I don't know, it's kind of cool. I like it. Maybe if I've got something a little bit more somber to talk about. There's one called City Walk. Cool. I don't know. Here's Jane Street. Alright, Jane Street's coming with me. That's an easy listening kind of shit. You guys can listen to that. Oh, you know what? Let's look for some Delta Blues. I like Delta Blues. There's no video. I'm trying to do that. Strolling. Oh, I have that. Moon drops. What's that all about? Okay, so what we just did right now was, let's okay, hang on a second. I'm going to come back over here and look at the channel, see what it looks like. Hit it on mute. Yeah. You got to give me just half. All right, I'll be right there. Thank you. Okay. Well, did you hear that, folks? My coffee is ready, so I'm going to have to go get it. You're going to have to give me half a second. But when I do, all right, now I'm about to do it right now. So what we're going to do, I'm going to switch over to my little cover image, right? And you guys are going to get the chance to see how kind of the media works. Enjoy. Okay, that should have brought us back. Yeah, that should have brought us back. I'm going to be quiet just to make sure. Okay, that should have brought us back. Yeah, that should have brought us back. I'm going to be quiet just to make sure. Okay, that did seem to work. That seems like it pretty well took care of that. I'm going to go ahead and put on the split cam for you so you kind of just see what we're at and what we're doing. I know you can't really see the laptop very well with this, and I will be doing something on the next live stream. I'll have the other monitor because I do think that having that where you'd be able to see that angle might help you guys a little bit. Uh, Really, right now, what I've been working on is getting this stream together. You know, just getting this put together so that I can come to you guys um, regularly and give you the type of information that that you're trying to get. For those of you, what is that? Okay, all right. Tell you what, hang on just a second. I don't know what. That is not coffee. Hang on, I don't know what I poured into my cup. Give me just a second. Flip back over here. Hang on. All right, right back with you. Now that is something that we're probably going to have to deal with, and I'll figure that out, okay? And that's going to be a video overlay, something like that. I don't want you guys to just be popping in and there's a random image with music playing. I know you didn't get in here for that. you came in here for, some real stuff. Now that I got fresh coffee, well, that's still hotter than hell. Hotter than hell. So I will be coming here ready to answer questions for you guys. Talk to you about business, talk to you about life, talk to you about forming your companies, getting your entities rolling. All of that type of stuff. I've been doing this for about almost 30 years. Almost 30 years. Give me just a second. So I've been doing this for almost 30 years now, and starting businesses is kind of what I do. Get them going, get them rolling, sell them, merge them into something else, roll them into another deal, kind of do that. Make your exit plan. Now, that's something that we can talk about. I had a gentleman talking to me earlier today about strategies and things, and one of the things that I tried to teach him was about trade strategies. And in truth, this goes to everything that you can imagine, from trading cars to baseball cards to stocks, right? Anytime you make a trade, anytime you do any of that kind of stuff, make an agreement, you need 3 metrics. Okay, 3 different numbers that you need to really know before you ever go into that agreement, into that deal. And that is the point of entry. Like, what point do you actually want to get into it? If you're going to buy a car, what price are you actually comfortable paying for that particular vehicle? If you're looking at a baseball card, what's the going rate for that card, right? What's the value of it? If you're getting a bid on a construction bid on getting your home remodeled, same thing. You want several bids, and you want to find out what's the going rate, what's the appropriate price to put on it, what's your acceptable amount to get in at, right? So then you say, okay, well, what's my expected goal, right? What's my target? What is my target? Like, what's going to make me happy? If I buy this car, at what price, can I get into it and then sell it to make my money? Now, if I can't sell it and it goes the other way, at what number do I cut my losses? That's the whole thing. You need 3 numbers. Yeah, where do you cut your losses? Where do you get in? Where do you get out? Period. 3 metrics. Here in a moment, I'm going to take you guys behind the scenes with me. A lot of what I do in the evening time, after we're done with the conversations and phone calls and everything else, right now it's 7:29 p.m. and I'm just waiting on Denise to get some dinner done, and I know that she's going to have that ready here in just a little while. Actually, it's not dinner; it's just another snack, another whatever. It's what we're eating right now. That's one of the things we don't eat regularly. We really don't. I'm not going to call it breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between, whatever. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. We might be eating a steak or a cake. There's no telling. And the latter is usually what it is. I tend to like muffins a little bit, so we've been on a muffin kick lately, and I think I've gone down a couple of dozen of them in the last week or 2. Don't worry, they were mini muffins. They were mini muffins, all right? I'm watching my boyish figure. Don't watch out. So, okay, moving on along. What we're going to do is I'm going to go through some of this editing with you guys. I've never seen another YouTuber edit. I'll tell you right now, I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional editor. I know about as much about YouTube editing as I can find on here on the internet, on YouTube, on how to edit. And that's pretty much it. And in truth, I don't use any fancy programs. I use the one that comes on the laptop. It's a little Windows program called Clipchamp or something. Real simple thing to do my main stuff with, and then I've got some programs that I use in the back end. But if you'd like, I'll switch over and we can actually go through and edit a video. I did do a conversation earlier today. Find out. It might kick me. Sometimes it does. No, it doesn't look like it's going to. Hey, Cortina, how you doing this morning?
Good. I was trying to get my computer to work and get my wireless headphones to work, but I guess I got to reboot my computer, so I'm on my phone.
Uh-oh.
Trying to work this out. I tell you,
Technology.
I understand.
But I knew I should have booted my computer last night, but hey, let's see.
Well, that's just
I'll
life.
do it now.
That's just life.
I know. It's like,
Heck, I got up this morning and jumped on and did a Facebook Live this morning.
Did you?
Yep. Oh, I deleted it. One person joined in 20 minutes, you know.
Okay. I got out of it. I'm just going to start doing TikTok lives. But I got to get to 1,000 followers first before they let me go live. Yeah. Well, TikTok has the highest growth potential right now for everything. So it would push all of our other platforms if I were to post this video on TikTok, right? And then push them towards the other things that we have. So that's just kind of where I'm trying to go with it right now. What's email? Email from everything. I talked to my mother's teacher.
Oh,
no. What was his name? Pradeep, I think. No. Not Pradeep. No. Okay, I will ask him again. Yeah, tell him, be sure and send it, man. I'm looking for somebody to do some stuff, you know. So, it'd be nice. It'd be real nice. Yeah, so that's what's happening around this place, you know. How are you, Cortina? Good morning.
Doing it so far. Just getting the day started. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I know it really.
Yeah. It's looking like it's going to be a beautiful day here, which is good. I'm ready for beautiful weather, but I will say that means I got to do stuff.
That's what it's just pouring down here.
Oh no! Yeah, it was pouring down here for days. Yeah, for days it was pouring. Yeah, I'm glad it finally stopped. Well, I tell you. Yeah, it's been miserable around this place. The pigs are miserable. I gotta go get some straw or hay or something today and see if I can throw it out and get some dry area for them. You can't do it when it's wet. If you do it. Yeah, if you do it. That's what it is. You're an investor. I'm way south of there are changes, and it's like, wow, look at this area. Look how pretty this area is. And it's totally different than where we're at. Yeah.
And we wanted to move back here, but the job situation, wasn't conducive to that, so no jobs. So we couldn't come back.
Cortina, I think he's talking to you.
Yeah. Oh, what was that?
I was asking what you do for a living. What do I do for a living? I am an investor. Looking for, was it?
Chris, I don't even know what to say.
Well, that's good enough. That's what it is. You're an investor. I mean,
that's pretty much it. And right now, of course, I'm in with the RWC toy distribution.
Yeah, as an investor.
But I also do crypto and NFTs. Not so much that I qualify to get into the pool yet. The paper currency it to me. I sort of knew of it, but didn't know what it was to understand it enough to even venture to get.
That's an ETF.
Can you?
Sure. Hey, Sincere, can you jump out and jump back so I can get your video back? It's spinning on my end, and I think it's you. It might be me.
Me?
I don't know. Might be me. It's just, now that security is me. I was just trying to check it. Here, I'll jump too. Okay, it was probably me.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. I hate cutting anybody off. I just like to make sure that that I have the whole thing when I'm talking to you. Yeah. So yeah, but that's what it is with the ETFs. See, the government. Okay, it was probably me.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. I hate cutting anybody off. I just like to make sure that that I have the whole thing when I'm talking to you. Yeah. So yeah, but that's what it is with the ETFs. See, the government can back an actual security that's gone through, the licensing to be a security. Now, Bitcoin is not. Now, that security is based on a cryptocurrency. Now, there is no diversification. It's not about diversification. It's about being able to invest in that asset. Just like you have gold ETFs, you have silver ETFs, you have ETFs that are based on industries. That's not diversification. That's an ETF.
Can you
Go ahead.
Okay, can you explain what ETF is and
Yes.
go from there?
It is an
From the
electronically
basic.
it is an electronically traded fund. Okay. Basically what it is, diversification, that's an ETF.
Can you
Go ahead.
Can you explain what ETF is and
Yes.
go from there?
It is an
From the
electronically
basic.
it is an electronically traded fund. Okay. Basically what it is, now this is the basics of it. This is the real deal basics. Is you have a guy like me, who puts together an investment portfolio on his little trading account. And I mean, it's a big company is what it is. It's not a guy like me, but it's a company that comes out like we do. They go out and they invest certain amounts of money into a certain type of thing, right? Right.
Yes.
So in this case, let's say we went in and we purchased into Bitcoin. What we could do is put out an ETF, an electronically traded fund. We can build a fund, right? Now you've heard other places talking about building up crypto funds. That's what this is.
Yes.
It is a fund that is based on this particular type of crypto, which would be Bitcoin. Okay. So the amount of money that we would pool in, we would invest into crypto. And then the value of our fund goes up and down with the value of crypto. Make sense?
Technically, it's an open market fund kind of.
Basically,
Which,
yes. It's
we can
listed,
track
yeah, it is listed. Invest into crypto. And then the value of our fund goes up and down with the value of crypto. Make sense?
Technically, it's an open market fund kind of.
Basically,
Which,
yes. It's
we can
listed.
track
Yeah, it is listed on
the stock exchange.
the exchange market. Yes, so it is an actual security that is listed on the exchange that the public can go in and purchase. Okay, that is an electronically traded fund. But now, as far as diversification, that just depends on what type of ETF you're wanting to get. Right? There's all kinds of ETFs. Now, for me, if I want diversification, I'm going to invest in the S&P 500. Right, I'm going to get I'm going to get the SPY or whatever it's called, right? Whatever ETF they've got, because that's the top 500 companies in my country, right? That's the top 500 across all industries in my country. So if I know that I'm investing in that, I'm diversified, and I know that it has a track record of average 10%, 10, 12% return, right? On average. Right. So I'm okay with doing some of that, and that's if I were to only purchase into that. Right. Right. But that way I would have diversification. Some people might say, hey, I want to get a piece of real estate here. Oh, I want to get some tech stock over here. Oh, I want to buy some real estate stock or some whatever it is over here, or a mutual fund. Right. That's diversification as well. A mutual fund is generally a diversified investment vehicle, because what that is a fund put together by a company who invests in different types of companies of whatever perspective, and each one tells you what they invest in. You have to look at the little prospectus, Look at the thesis, and it'll tell you
Okay.
this is what we put our money in. It's this sector, this type of business, all
Okay.
that kind of shit, right? So you understand this is where you're putting your
Okay.
money.
Yes,
Same
yes.
thing that we do when we put together an investment thesis. It's this is what we invest
Okay.
in. This is the minimum order. It's the exact same thing. You're just not. You probably never thought about them on the same way. It's exactly the
They are
same thing.
same thing. They are same thing, but we are calling them different names.
That's
kind
it.
of.
It's a
And they
different
have
name.
different regulations.
It's a different name. Just like when they talk about the GPLP structures, nobody talks about how many entities you're creating. It's not one company
Okay.
that
So
everybody's putting money in. No, you made three entities to
GPLP
do
and
it.
mutual funds, both are same,
Say it again.
kind of. Mutual funds and GPLP stakes funds, both are same, kind of.
No, no, no. Those are
Okay.
totally different things. My point is the way that things work are very similar. Okay, a mutual fund is
Okay.
right is a fund, right? You know what a fund is?
Yes.
It's a fund structure. It has been has a
Yes.
regulation A B C D whatever fund, right? It is its security that is based on certain types of investments. Like you may have some that are based on the energy sector, right? So you'll have a whole bunch of energy
Yes.
companies in that mutual fund. Or it may be a fund
Okay.
that is diversified, that has, 10% of it's in energy, 10% of it's in tech,
Yes.
30% of it's in venture capital. You see what I'm saying? They diversify inside that
Yes.
fund. Right. That's all a
Okay.
mutual fund is. Now, a hedge fund is very similar to a mutual fund. Okay. A hedge
Okay.
fund, however, the collection of assets that it contains are things from both ends of the spectrum, so that if one thing were to inflate, the other one kind of captures that issue without taking the loss, right?
Okay.
It hedges the market, right? If it goes up one
Okay.
way, then it hedges the way. And that is usually a very diversified portfolio that you're investing into. Does that help give you a little clarity on what those things are?
Yeah. Okay. In mutual fund, we are investing in one sector which we have told them, or we are
No.
investing in only certain kind of things.
No. Diversified portfolio that you're investing into. Does that help give you a little clarity on what those things are?
Yeah. And why they are called mutual funds?
Okay.
And what's
well,
the difference between
like-
normal funds and mutual?
well, you're saying a normal fund. What's a invest in?
In mutual fund, they
We're investing
Yes.
just in our general, certain type of investment.
okay.
I hope that simplifies it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why when you hear about investment products, that's what it is. Like our investment products that represent a certain type of investment.
Okay.
I hope that simplifies it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why when you hear about investment products, that's what it is. Like our investment product is a contract. That's what it is in the end. Is it is a contract. That's what a note is. That's
Yeah.
what a mortgage is. That's what any of that is. A bank note, car loan, they are a contract. That is the product, right?
Okay.
And then when the bank does something with it, what do? They sell that note. They sell that contract. They sell that debt to
Contract.
someone else. It's nothing more than an electronic piece of paper that says that somebody owes a certain amount of money. That's it. That's it. Once you
It
realize
just
how,
depends on what it is they invest in.
that's it. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yeah. Would you like to
'Cause,
add
like,
to this
even though it's-
conversation? Because I know you an electronic piece of paper that says that somebody owes a certain amount of money. That's it. That's it. Once you
It
realize
just
how,
depends on what it is they invest in.
that's it. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yeah. Would you like to
'Cause,
add
like,
to this
even though it's-
conversation? Because I know you've
Well,
got
it's just
knowledge.
like with the RWC. No, it's like the RWC toy distributions. That's the parent name for all the other mom and pop companies or stores underneath it. So depending on which one of those stores do good or do bad, that depends on how much we make. Like any other mutual funds.
The portfolio.
From what I understand, but some were more aggressive than very different in how they manage it and what you want to do with it.
Yeah. You know,
So
Okay, so basically management.
well, you have three basic
Sorry,
things
continue.
that you want to do with your
that are really volatile.
right.
So the way the hedge fund people do theirs is very different in how they manage it and what you want to do with it.
Yeah. You know,
Okay, so basically management.
well, you have three basic
Sorry,
things
continue.
that you want to do with your money. That's the reasons that they have so many different kinds. You either want a growth strategy, a
Yes.
a sustainability strategy, right, which is kind of like residual income that kind of keeps coming in, keeps it going, and sometimes
Passive income?
sometimes it's just a retention strategy. It's just to keep it from disappearing. You know, I mean, you have reasons that you want your money to stay around. It may not be to grow. It may be for a different purpose. It may be, you see, if you're in an aggressive growth strategy, you may be investing in venture capital, which could be very volatile, right? You could lose just as much as you win, but when you win big, right? That's the whole point. So each one of these types of funds, you need to look at what they invest in and then see if it aligns with your personal uh, investment values. It's if you need something that's steady, that's not aggressive, but just make sure that it does make some money and it's guaranteed, then you'd want to get in some regular old little mutual fund that kind of has a certain number of growth that's been doing for the last 10, 15 years, and you're pretty safe, right? And you can kind of say, okay, this is what my money's going to do. Now, if you just want your money to keep rolling around, right? You want it to keep rolling around because you're not wanting to pay the taxes on it. You want it to keep growing. You've got some estate planning. You've actually got quite a bit of it that you don't want to just be giving away to the government every year. So then you want to put it in something that could roll into other types of investments, right? So whether it be real estate that can roll into another one or roll into one type of fund that you can put into another type of fund with compounding interest over years so that you never have to take those capital gains, yet you can keep, amassing wealth. Right? There's a lot of different ways to do that, and you would set that up under a trust so that if you passed away, your loved ones or family would be totally taken care of and it would be automated. There's a lot of different reasons that people invest. Some people only have enough to go try to make more tomorrow, right? They need to make an investment, but it needs to be a short-term investment to where they can maximize profits, right? There's other people that they're at the point to where they've made their money. Now they're just trying to keep what they've made. They don't want it to get taxed away. They don't want it to just be gone to depreciation, or anything else. They just want their money to maintain, and they want to make sure that people are taken care of. So you really have to talk to, every individual. It makes different choices when it comes to what they do. A hedge fund, the difference in that is it is made to sustain, right? It's made so that whether the market goes up or down, it kind of keeps you right with a certain amount of growth. A mutual fund, each one has a goal in mind. Like they invest in this type of thing, and this is what we believe the growth's going to be, and this is what our track record is. That's it. They're all just going to be something a little different.
Okay, it's management.
That's the way. It's the purpose and the management of it. Yes, sir. Cortina, that was nail on, or hit the head on the nail, or nail on the head.
Yes. Makes
Yeah.
me very.
It's like, I've looked at, oh gosh, I forgot his name just that quick. What's the guy that, golly, I see his face, the one that Bill Gates, him and Buffett.
Warren
That's
Buffett?
it, Warren Buffett's.
Yep.
Warren Buffett's stock.
It keeps you right with a certain amount of growth. A mutual fund, each one has a goal in mind. Like they invest in this type of thing, and this is what we believe the growth's going to be, and this is what our track record is. That's it. They're all just going to be something a little different.
Okay, it's management.
That's the way. It's the
them.
purpose and the management of it. Yes, sir. Cortina, that was nail on, or hit the head on the nail, or nail on the head. Hey, I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. What I've got going on is I'm doing all of the cuts and the edits right now. Hey, how you doing there, Inspiration Power? Good to see you, Julianne. Now I know who you are. Yeah, so what I'm doing is a few video edits right now. I've been going over a whole bunch of the things we've been putting out on shorts. We've been putting out long form videos. I've been doing a lot of calls and creating a lot of content lately. And I figured this is a process that maybe you guys would like to be in on. So some of this I actually mute and play audio. Some of it I'll be playing the actual or the actual video. Uh, Either way, it's the behind the scenes. If you'll notice here, you've got multiple camera angles. What we're doing is we've got this main camera here that, as a matter of fact, let's just switch to that. You know, here's your main camera so that I can come to you in the talking head style. And then I've also got the the split cam so that you can see the behind the scenes footage, right? Which is this cam here. How you doing there? You get to see all of this and how this actually works with multiple screens, multiple devices, and the way that I operate, and other cameras, right? Uh, and then on screen, you should also be seeing the screen share of what I'm actually looking at, right? So what I'm going to, matter of fact, let me cut that off. Uh, yeah, so that's what I've been doing is working on the cutting the device, right? Or cutting the video. So I'm going to turn my microphone back off for a moment. I would love to hear what you'd like to see. Like if there's something that you're actually interested in seeing, I'd love to know what that is. For right now, I'm pretty much going to be just going live regularly so that you guys can see the workflow, what it's like to build, buy, and sell businesses for a living, what it actually takes to do it, and what it looks like. You know, I think there's some common misconceptions over a lot of things. It doesn't have to be some big suit and tie office ordeal with a big, fancy everything. I'm sitting in an upstairs home office hanging out with my dogs out on a small farm in just north of San Antonio, Texas. And most of what you see, uh, you're seeing all the angles here. It's just a regular room we put together with a table in there so that it kind of fits my needs. And I'll tell you, I don't even have a regular desk that fits my needs because I've got multiple levels, multiple tiers, and it's about 8 feet long. So we've got makeshift everything for now. And it works, and I get to reorganize it and move it and change the shop up or change the studio up and give you guys a little bit of entertainment on the regular. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to cutting this video. And let's see, yeah, cutting this video. And so just listen up. You guys will listen in on the conversation that we had earlier today as it's cut and clipped. You'll hear all of the long and short form content as it's being created.
Yes. You'll explain me very.
Because, like, I've looked at, oh gosh, I forgot his name just that quick. What's the guy that, but it had no dividends. And I'm thinking, something, and just.
If I was going to put my money into it, really,
Yes.
it's either an acquisition that's going to get me exponential growth, or if I'm just wanting to passively do it, it has to be some sort of fund, mutual fund that's managed by someone where you just put really be on your stuff if you're trying to do that. Even if you're in a buy and holder, you need to know when to exit, man. You always need, in any strategy, any investment strategy requires 3 numbers. Okay, here's a little. Has to be some sort of fund, mutual fund that's managed by someone where you just put the money in and it's got an expected return rate. That's really it. That's really it.
Why not stocks?
Because you have to watch them, first of all. You have to understand the data. You have to know the company, right, and all of that. You have to really be on your stuff if you're trying to do that. Even if you're in a buy and holder, you need to know when to exit, man. You always need, in any strategy, buy and holder, you need to know when to exit, man. You always need, in trying to do that. Even if you're in a buy and holder, you need to know when to exit, man. You always need, In any strategy, any investment strategy requires three numbers. Okay, here's a little tidbit of gold for you right now. All investment strategies require three numbers to actually be a strategy. Number one, the number that you want to enter the transaction at. So have that predetermined. It's whatever that number is. You need to know it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Number two, what number are you happy exiting at? Right? What is your end game? You need to know that. You don't ride it till the wheels fall off. You need to have an exit,
Yeah.
Have your exit plan. Now here's the next thing. At what number do you exit if it goes the wrong way?
Okay.
So what number are you comfortable losing? Right? When do I pull the plug?
Yep.
Right. Those are the three numbers you need to know. Where do I enter? Where do I get out? And where do I pull the plug?
Yeah. And that's for any trade you do in any market or any asset.
Yeah, anything. Even if you go buy a car. Even if you go buy a car, if you see a for sale sign on a vehicle, you should know what that vehicle's worth before you go. Look it up. Do your DYOR. Do your own research. Go check it out and find out how much that car is supposed to be worth, blue book value, and then go with a number expected in mind. And say to yourself, as long as it's between this range, I'm cool with it. I'm not going to let them talk me up, right? None of that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's number one. Know what price you're going to enter. All right, so now you've gone and you've entered the negotiation, right? If the negotiation goes one way or another, you know where you're real happy taking it to. You're not going to overdo him because you don't want to screw him, right? You don't want to do that. So you know where you're happy coming to. You're like, all right, I'm good and I'm happy right here. That's my number. Now, what if you get the limit? Right? What if you buy the car? At what point do you need to do something different? That number is generally at what number does it cost me to do the repair? Is it more or less than the vehicle that I just purchased, right? If I take this number and put it back, the comfortable loss number, right? If I can lose this amount putting into it, will it give me the return where I can keep rolling? If it doesn't, then you have to pull the plug. You sell the vehicle now. You sell it now, cut your losses before it's shot, right? That's the whole point. So that's a real life scenario of three numbers working.
Okay. And for the research part, how do you do research if you know nothing about it? Think about that. For example, car.
Okay, well, you would get on Google and say, how much is this car worth? What is the blue book value of this vehicle, this business, this item, this collectible baseball card?
Yeah. And with cars, you can find out if they've been in accidents. You can find out the mileage from the owner. Those things go into it too. So it's just like with anything, you have to do the research on it before you do it.
But the simple answer to that question is just ask. Just ask. Any of these questions that you ask us, have you noticed every time I tell you? Last time he says, how do I write a pitch deck? Now, Cortina, you've seen me publish how many pitch decks, man? I've done so many of them over the last however while, just doing different things, showing how it's done, theses, prospectuses, and everything else. And it would be real easy for me to just give him an outline and say, here you go, follow that. Here's a template.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to lead the man to fish. I'm going to teach the man to fish. That's what I'm going to do. So I said, let me screen share, and this is how you do it when you have a question like this. First of all, always come here and ask like you did. Second of all, you're going to come over here. You're either going to go to Google or you're going and they're going to give you an answer. And in that particular case, I said, look, we're going to go to ChatGPT because this is a writing prompt. You want to write a pitch deck.
Yeah.
You want to figure out how to do that. So I said, can you please write a template for a pitch deck about XYZ? Boom. Title, overview, summary, module 1, 2, 3, 4, step number 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And it has it lined out for him exactly like it needs to be. Now it's up for him to go in there and take that template, take that outline, and fill it in. Just fill it in. Because it just told you what to do. Now you take your knowledge that you're making it on and you fill it in. When you're done, you'll have a completed pitch deck that's in the right format that looks good. You know. So just the simple question of how do I and can you create? Right? I mean,
Yes.
So
that chat GPT, that's really nice. I used that just recently and thought, why have I not used this sooner?
Oh,
I also using it.
Me too. I'm fixing to get ChatGPT.
He told me to use ChatGPT.
Oh, because I actually went to Udemy and took a small little class on it, and then I didn't use it right then. One of my caregivers was asking for a recommendation letter. I was like, oh great, I hate writing. So I said, hold it. Let me go here. And sure enough, I put in some keywords. So, but it gave me enough words to work with. If you give me an
good, and then even when you get an outline, there's certain things and subcategories that go to on this, similar to this, that contains this type of information, right? And then it'll give and proofread it, that segment, see if it actually all pertains to what I'm trying to do. Make sure that everything that I'm wanting to proofread and this is a great thing that you've written here. I think it's very impressive. They'll say some shit like that, you know, and then it'll spit back out. And at that point, you say, okay, it's good, and you finalize your documents once you've done that to every segment, and you proofread it again and make sure that it all aligns with exactly what you're trying to do. Yeah.
I go to the investor or the business we are trying to buy and say, well, tell me about the business and all that. He is like, you don't even know about the business and why you are buying from me.
Well, the question is, know what you're doing before you're doing something. Okay, don't just willy-nilly you heard something on the internet. Look, do a little research, watch a couple videos, talk to some folks, write down your questions. Here's the biggest thing is write down specific questions. Okay, like how
sometimes you don't know which ones you want to ask, though. That's the thing. And like with you, when I came into your server, I came in because of the Rituals Club, and it sounded interesting. And because I've been on so many different servers, and everybody has a roadmap, they have white papers or something. So after being burned so many times, when I start reading his roadmap, it's like, okay, it makes sense. And plus, it was actually a business, and he had his parent business and all the other sub businesses and all that. I was like, okay. But it was almost a year before he actually evolved to let's start investing in businesses.
And there was a reason
and
too.
By that time, so after being burned so many times, when I start reading his roadmap, sometimes you don't know which ones you want to ask, though. That's the thing. And like with you, when I came in,
write down your questions. Here's the biggest thing is write down specific questions. Okay, like how
sometimes you don't know which ones you want to ask, though. That's the thing. And like with you, when I came into your server, I came in because of the Rituals Club, and it sounded interesting. And because I've been on so many different servers, and everybody has a roadmap, they have white papers or something. So after being burned so many times, when I start reading his roadmap, it's like, okay, it makes sense. And plus, it was actually a business, and he had his parent business and all the other sub businesses and all that. I was like, okay. But it was almost a year before he actually evolved to let's start investing in businesses.
And there was a reason
and
too.
By that time, Yeah, we built relationship and we started talking. And as I listened to him, and everything was very logical to me. But then, too, having heard other people talk, it's like, okay, this sounds very sensible. I was like, okay. But a lot of it you don't really know. And I listen a lot more than I talk, and I know what I want to hear, but I just don't know how to articulate sometimes a question to get what I want out of it. So by me listening to the people talk, because you know how salesmen are, they say a bunch of nothing. They talk and talk, and then they want money. And then they talk. And it's like, you didn't say anything. And it's like, I'm waiting for you to tell me what you're doing, how you're going to do it, instead of asking me for money, how you going to give me money back.
That's right.
So, no, a lot of listening. And if you want to buy a business, I never thought I'd be in a toy distribution, but I'm not in it as an owner. I'm in it as an investor. And that was what I liked the most, because I'm at the point in my life, I don't want to be tied down.
Yeah, not an operational manager, but a silent partner, basically, is what it is. It's a silent partner, because you are a partner.
Yeah.
You're actually listed 33% or 30%.
Yeah.
Partner. But it also specifically states too that it's a silent position. It was a financial position only that's made for distribution, which is
And actually, I found out because of how I invested, I have to be that way because I use retirement monies that I'm not taking distribution on. So in a way, part of my retirement money is invested in this company that's going to pay me back.
That's
so
right.
It's the same thing, except now I'm managing it myself as opposed to getting Fidelity and all these other people. But I'm investing into one parent company with a lot of little companies. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be a mutual fund, but it was just,
kind of. Now, see, RWC, Rich Wolf Club LLC is the main company that owns all the other little stuff. Now, where you're at is with RWC Distributions, which is our toy and novelty wholesale distribution. Now, the way that works is we have a shit ton of accounts, is what it is, that are just our business accounts. We don't own those. They're just our accounts.
True.
Now, we also just split off and formed RWC Investments. Now, that's actually a separate entity. That's what I was kind of trying to get at the other day, is there's a lot of entities that are involved when you go to doing this. The reason we did that is because we want to start purchasing and building some of these other... Oh, look at that. I got pig medicine all over my hand still. Pig medicine. I got purchasing and building some of these other... Oh, look at that. I got pig medicine all over my hand still. It's purple. It stains your hand purple when you go spraying this stuff. So anyhow, I just looked at the camera. I was like, look at that. That's horrible. Hell, where was I at? Like, look at that. That's horrible. Hell, where was I at?
About why you did the entities and
different entities.
investment.
Yes, because I wanted people to, there again, I talked to you for months and months. Because I wanted people to, there again, I talked to you for months and months and months, Cortina, and I said, how am I going to do something with this club? I talked to you because I wanted people to, there again, because I wanted people to, because I wanted people to, there again, I talked to you for months and months and months, Cortina, and I said, how am I going to do something with this club? How am I going to do something that's not crypto based, that's not scary to everybody, that lets someone come in? See, up until when I joined the crypto space, I was under the assumption that it was regular people with a few bucks here and there that could do what they do. And as I started watching, and over the couple of years of watching it, the serious investors like to do things a little bit differently, right? And I didn't realize that you could use a retirement or an IRA or or any of that type of thing, a 401k, to put into these types of things. Once I realized that it's possible, I started thinking, well, how do you do it? And in the end, to me, that's a headache, to go and take your retirement money from the safe place it's been sitting to go stick it in a decentralized world to where it's not safe, and then put it in a company that has no real anything legally tying it to where it needs to give you anything. We're not talking about $50. We're not talking about $100 or $100 here or there. We're talking about thousands of dollars from people who have worked their lives. And for months, I sat there and thought, how am I going to do this to where I can still offer opportunity, still offer value, still give a real, regular human being the opportunity to grow and do something with the money that they've worked their hard-earned life for, safely? At least safer. Because I'll tell you right now, going putting your money with me to go start a new business, hell no, 90-some-odd% are going to fail. We don't want to do that. Okay? And I don't want you to give me your retirement so I can go fail with your money. But if I can devise a plan to where what we're investing in is a positive cash flowing asset, that makes sense. That made sense. So when the toy thing came up to where the when the toy, that made sense. So when the toy thing came up to where we had the option of purchasing this other route to expand what we're doing now and grow the company that we already had, I asked the club, who's interested? I happened to be Cortina was interested, and you know what? She gets a paycheck next month. So I think it's next month or the 1st of April, whatever it is. Yeah. Now I will say it's not like it's a huge, gigantic paycheck, but what it will be is more than what we've looked at on that chart for an investment of any amount.
Yeah, and it's really no different than me having someone else invest it for me. I just don't have to pay that fee for them to manage it and do nothing and not tell me when it goes down. Yeah.
And yours comes up. You get yours from now on. That's the thing. Yours is from now until the life of the company. And whether you decide to get out of the company, sell the company, we decide to sell it to somebody else and roll off and do whatever it is we do. Now, I don't say shut it down because we can sell a business. There ain't no reason to shut a business down. We should all make money at any time. Even if you got mad at me and I got mad at you, we should still sell it. We shouldn't shut it down.
I know. And you know what? I think Dwayne Johnson. You know what? I think Dwayne. I think Dwayne Johnson and his wife Dan business together very. It's not about what they had in the past. It's like
they work together. I did not know that, and they've got.
He's been having daughters with his second wife.
One kid. That's what I thought. I like The Rock.
He does. Yeah, and if you ever notice on executives or producers of it, so I guess they chose not to do alimony. The producers, and I thought that was so neat. I thought,
that's one thing I can say.
You don't have to worry.
Yeah, that's hard to do. My first wife and I, man, I tell you what, we still can't stand to be in the room. Wife and I, man, I tell you, that's one thing I can say.
You don't have to worry.
Yeah, that's hard to do. My first wife and I, man, I tell you what, we still can't stand to be in the room with each other. Well, I can do it. She doesn't like being in the room with me. But the second wife, we just decided we didn't get along one day. Or no, not that we didn't get along, we just didn't love each other. That's all. We met at a weird time. Space that's not scary to everybody, that lets someone come in. See, up until when I joined the crypto space, I was under the assumption that it was regular people with a few bucks here and there that could do what they do. And as I started watching, and over the couple of years of watching it, the serious investors like to do things a little bit differently, right? And I didn't realize that you could use a retirement or an IRA or or any of that type of thing, a 401k, to put into these types of things. Once I realized that it's possible, I started thinking, well, how do you do it? And in the end, to me, that's a headache, to go and take your retirement money from the safe place it's been sitting to go stick it in a decentralized world to where it's not safe, and then put it in a company that has no real anything legally tying it to where it needs to give you anything. We're not talking about $50. We're not talking about $100 or $100 here or there. We're talking about thousands of dollars from people who have worked their lives. And for months, I sat there and thought, how am I going to do this to where I can still offer opportunity, still offer value, still give a real, regular human being the opportunity to grow and do something with the money that they've worked their hard-earned life for, safely? At least safer. At least safer. Because I'll tell you right now, going putting your money with me to go start a new business, hell no, 90-some-odd% are going to fail. We don't want to do that. Okay? And I don't want you to give me your retirement so I can go fail with your money. But if I can devise a plan to where what we're investing in is a positive cash flowing asset, that makes sense. That made sense. So I happened to be where Tina was interested. And you know what? She gets a paycheck next month. So I think it's next month or the 1st of April, whatever it is. Yeah. Now, I will say it's not like it's a huge, gigantic paycheck, but what it will be is more than what we've looked at on that chart for an investment of any amount.
Wow. Yeah, and this is really no different than me having someone else invest it for me. I just don't have to pay that fee for them to manage it and do nothing and not tell me when it goes down.
We just decided we didn't get along one day, or no, not that we didn't get along, we just didn't love each other. That's all. We met at a weird time. We were still young, going through dumb stuff, going through life, and both needed something at that time, and it was just kind of over. Yeah, it was just kind of over. And I knew I was wanting to do other things in life. I think she wanted to do other things in life, not other people or anything, just go in different directions. And we never had like problems. And in the end, that was it. We kind of went our separate ways. And we've talked a few times over the last 5 or 10 years or so, like on Facebook once or twice, I think. But that was it. Never. Yeah, that was fine. No, you know what? I ain't talked to her. Shit, it's probably been 10 years. But she invited me over to their house one time, to go see her brother graduated from high school. And I went to the brother, my ex-brother-in-law, went to his high school graduation and hung out with the little family for a while. But that was the last time I've even seen them.
Wow.
But yeah, most of the time, when people get a divorce or whatever, it's a craziness.
I know, and even Demi Moore, and then with Bruce Willis, I like that. Even their relationship, they got along as a combined family. About the aphasia.
Yeah. Well, they said he can't talk or anything anymore. That's all I heard.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
And it's like I think hers was the first marriage I saw that made me know that it's possible to stay friends with somebody and not be ugly and all this, it's crazy. Because I saw about Brad Pitt and Angelina bought in France. She had 40, but he gifted
would not that kind of a thing. He has gifted her 10%, which made her 50, so that it's her part. But now he's saying that I want 10% of your part, which I gifted. That is
temporarily giving it back to them, but they're still trying to. Either one of you really need it, and
I tell you what, I'm at a point in my life, man, and they're older than me, right? Brad and Angelina, I'm not trying to do anything. If this one Brad and Angelina are older.
Yeah. No,
You know, I I tell you what, I'm at a point in my life, man, and they're older than me, right? Brad and Angelina are older than I am, a little bit. And man, I'm not looking for anything if this one didn't work out. I don't believe so. I think I'm at a point that this is the one. That's all. I'm not trying to do anything. If this one here hates me, leaves me, cheats on me, whatever, I'm probably just done with that. Just gonna live life.
Yeah.
I don't even like people
Yeah.
enough to go. Hey out there, internet land. If you are just now joining into the stream, my name's Christopher Day, and I am a small business investor, mentor, educator, and, just all around, workhorse, really. I just don't ever hardly stop. So I've started coming live to you guys to let you know what the process is actually like to build, buy, sell businesses on a regular basis, to mentor people, to coach people on a real life human basis. We're not talking about the fake suit and tie, the fake I've got this, that, and the other thing type video. It's the real deal human that comes to you from a real deal place and, real deal clothes just like yours. And, we get to have a real conversation about your real business and your real life and how you can, you know, be more, do more, be better, expand, grow, scale, right? That's the whole thing. That's what we're all trying to do here. And that's the reason that I come here too. I'm always trying to increase my network and my circle as well. They say, your network is your net worth. Well, there you go, guys. I'm trying to connect with you. That's right. You, and all of y'all. So drop a comment down there. Say something to me. There's links all in all my stuff. You'll be able to, you know, uh, check me out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the like, right? Friend me, follow me, and share so that we can connect. There's a digital business card link if you guys would like to save me to your phones. If you would like to have a conversation one-on-one, you can set up a Zoom call with me. So be sure and check out the links everywhere. Links down below, links on the website, and everywhere else. Now, for right now, I'm going to go ahead and get back to doing what I'm doing. What I'm actually doing is working on editing some videos that need to come out within the next few days. It's Sunday evening, 8:25 p.m., and this is a call that I had this morning with some of the members of a club that I'm a part of. Well, we'll tell you about that another time. Anyhow, this is a conversation that we had, and I'm chopping it up for a little bit of content. So I'll be killing my mic and I'll be turning this back on. I'll be splitting the screen back again so that you can see, what we're doing here. And I hope you guys really enjoy, this type of content. Invite your friends. Tell them to come hang out and watch. This is what it's really like. Find somebody else.
Yeah, and I think that's hard, even if your spouse passes, to try to find somebody if you've been with them for so long. I can't even imagine that.
Me, like my mom and dad, they were together for over 50 years, and my dad passed, and hell, that was almost 10 years ago, and my mom don't even think about it. And she's told me that. She says, I don't even think about looking at some old man. What am I going to look at some old man for? Yeah, she says, no, I'm just fine right here. She said, I got my kids, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, got all that. What else do I need? So.
Yeah, all you need is friends and companions. You don't need all that.
That's it. Yeah, mom's happy. I make sure and call her every day just to make sure that, shit, dad ain't there. You better call mom. She still got kids everywhere in and out of her house. My niece moved in with her 3 kids there, so now she gets to be full-time great-grandma.
Well, as long as she has somebody to keep company, and that's all. Check in on her or be around her.
Yeah, well, see that's actually what ended up happening. Is she's 78 now. She's getting a little older, and Dad's gone, and she was in the house by herself, and everybody kind of came through. I have a couple of nieces and nephews that always had job problems in their 20s, you know. And she finally just told my niece, she's a hard-working girl, has 3 girls of her own, single mom, and says, hey, you've worked hard all your life. Do you want the house when I go? Well, sure, Grandma. And she said, well, why don't you guys come on in now and go ahead and move in, do your thing, and it's your house. I'll sign it over to you now. And but you got to take care of it. You do the thing, and I'm just going to live here until I ain't here no more. And so that's what's happened. My niece has come in. She's been there about 5 or 6 years now, and her girls are all teenagers now. She's every income tax she goes in. She works at the hospital. I think she's a nurse of some kind. But anyway, she comes in with her income tax every year and takes it all and puts it into rebuilding the house and making it a little better, doing a little bathroom renovation. Really taking care of it. So that's how my mom ended up doing it. So now she's not alone, and she's got little bitty ones to go get a new home if you're from there. Now, if you come from like that, because there's not really.
That's nice though that she doesn't have to worry about a mortgage. I mean, she has a house that's there, and
Sure.
Well, that's really a blessing.
And in truth, that entire family in that city needs something like that, because there's not really a career in that town there's not really a career in that town that will pay you enough to go get a new home if you're from there. Now, if you come from somewhere else and come in, it's a different story. Okay, totally different story. But not when you work there and you're from there and you've never had anything there, because the pay there is not much. It's just not much. Another problem has always been law enforcement. I mean, it has been an issue in that place for as long as I remember. There's one road in and there's one road out. Okay, there's one road in. An issue in that has been law enforcement. It's just not much. Another problem has always been law enforcement. I mean, it has been an issue in that place for as long as I remember. There's one road in and there's one road out. Okay, so what they do is they just sit there, and if you're they only see one pulled over. It may not be today you're getting pulled over. If they've never seen you before, you're getting pulled over. If they think that you're going at a different time than they normally see you, you're getting pulled over. Okay? Okay, so for those of you who did not witness, what just happened here, my lovely lady has brought me a fantastic plate of baked ziti with some Italian garlic and herb and cheese bread and all that kind of stuff, and some meatballs. And I do believe that I am going to eat that while we do this, because look, in the life of an entrepreneur, man, you don't stop. You don't sit down and just do the little dinner. Heck no, man. You just do one thing while you're doing another thing. We're all only made with 24 hours in the day. You don't get 25, neither do I, right? So that means that I have to optimize my time just like you've got to optimize yours. Happens to be that one of the ways I do that is eat and work a lot of times, right? I mean, that's what it is. I got multiple things going on, and in truth, guys, I eat to sustain the old body. I don't eat because I love the flavor of it all. However, fortunately, my lovely lady makes sure that the flavor is always on point. That's what it's about. So, after these messages, we'll be right back.
I think. Do you think it's a nice thing because it's a small town? Everyone knows everyone, so it's kind of a protective
Well, that's what they
as
say.
compared to.
Sure, that's what they tell you, but what it really is a way for the county to drum up money, okay? Because that's what it is. It's about the fines
Okay.
and fees and everything else. You get your car impounded and you get your stuff taken away. You got to go take a class that the county puts on. I mean, there's so many, or you got to go through a
Okay.
program that the county has a deal with, you know, I mean, sets you up with. Yeah, or you got in trouble and now you're going to probation through the county. The point is there's so many different caveats and ways that these people generate income from you doing something illegal or from you driving to work.
Okay.
So think about it. If you don't
It's a
work in this
proper
town,
politics,
the politics,
kind of.
look,
Proper politics, kind of, they are doing.
yeah, I
In
mean
a way.
it's small town stuff that happens. That's just what it is, and it's always been that way. So the problem is, do you town stuff that happens? Look,
Proper politics.
think about it. If you don't
It's a
work in this
proper
town,
politics.
the politics from you doing something illegal or from you driving to work.
Okay.
So think about it. If you don't or from you driving to work.
Okay.
So think about it. If you don't
It's a
work in this
proper
town,
politics,
the politics,
kind of.
look,
Proper politics, kind of, they are doing.
yeah, I
In
mean
a way.
it's small town stuff that happens. That's just what it is, and it's always been that way. So the problem is, do you been that way? So the problem is, do you live in that town and just stay in your little community and just never really be able to excel because they won't? There's not a place there that pays. And in truth,
Yes.
there's no one in that city to teach you to do your own thing. That's not a thing. No one works for themselves.
Yep.
A company from somewhere else will come in and you go to work for them. That's how it works in my hometown.
Yep.
Normal human beings in the city I grew up in don't realize that they can own their own business unless it's like a little cafe or a restaurant or like a little resale shop. There's always people that understand
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Normal people don't realize, hey, guess what? We need another hospital. We need another community event center. We need this, that, and the other thing, and know how to go fundraise and put those things together. Guess what? We need a children's organization that raises millions of dollars to help the handicapped because, 2.4% of our population has handicap issues in our elementary, and I think that we need more assistance. You don't have normal people that know what to do. All they will do is, write a letter and bitch and complain to the mayor for not doing something, at the school.
So they are depending on mayor to do everything rather than
They don't know the options.
kind of
Yeah, they just don't know
because
the options.
no one is teaching them.
That's correct, and it's because the teachers themselves aren't taught that.
Yes.
The teachers themselves
Yes.
are not
Yeah.
taught that. They're taught a certain curriculum that they're supposed to teach. That's their job. Their job is
Yes.
not to know stuff. Look, a teacher's job is
Yes.
not to know stuff, man. A teacher's job is to be able to effectively communicate the material that she's hired to convey. That's it. That is it. And if she's teaching anything out of that realm, she might get fired. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, if you guys aren't picking up all these little nuggets of golden wisdom, I don't know what you're doing out there, okay? Because that's every time I'm watching this stuff, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I said that. Had no idea I had that in me. Hey, I hope you're yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. I'm gonna get back to eating dinner while we do this cut and edit. So I hope you are enjoying this too. You're getting a sneak peek of all the little shorts and the videos that are going to be coming out and how they come into place. However, there will be a new music selection playing in the backgrounds because I just downloaded some. I did it for you on the last live. So back to you, Ken. Right? Know what they always say? Back to you, Ken. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's right or it's wrong. It's was it approved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, they're not
Hmm.
just genius people that are out there educating the world. It's somebody that got a job to teach you what some company told you they're supposed to teach you. You always have to think about education is also a business, man. Nobody goes to school for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's going to school for free. There's a
Yeah.
lot of occurrences when it goes to the education system.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, once you go off to college, if you do go off to college, I guess that's the thing. How many of them go off to college and come back? Because then they would know, or somebody would bring that knowledge back, you would think.
Well, it depends on what they went
I
for
think
and what atmosphere they were brought
depends.
up in the first place. I mean, most of the people in my hometown, if they go to college, they're going to a trade school to learn welding, oil field, plumbing, electrical, something like that. Or if they go for business, it's business management, accounting. It's going to be here's the thing. No one teaches you to go and build. They teach you to go and run, to go and operate, to go to work for another company. Come get a degree so that you can be a CEO at this company and manage their whatever it is. But never, oh, this is how you build a company and become XYZ and do this for yourself. That's not part of the course. It's not part of the curriculum.
I think they teach us how to be a good employee rather than how to build and scale something.
Yeah,
Sure.
but hopefully, if you socialize with some of the other students, there's always a student or a group of students who think outside the box,
Sure.
so that you at
But
least can
there are
plant a
very
seed.
few. There are very few to identify in a school of 2-3,000 people.
Gotta get out
Probably.
there. Got to get out there. Hey, here's the question. You know, as a matter of fact, I was watching a guy talk about that today. And this actually does translate to high school. Okay. I didn't think about it until just now because it was talking about marketing, it was talking about business, and it was talking about, okay. I
Mm.
gotta get out there. Got to get out there. Hey, here's the question. You know, as a matter of fact, I was watching a guy talk about that today. And this actually does translate to high school. Okay. I didn't think about it until just now because it was talking about marketing, it was talking about business, and it was talking about starting a YouTube channel and this and that. If you're a YouTube channel that has 0 followers and you're doing this for a living, this is your life, what are you going to do?
Yes.
What do you do?
Okay.
You make content and go get some damn customers. That's what you do. You go
Yes.
get the customers. Wherever they're at, you go get them. Go get them.
Yeah.
So if you're at school and you want to be successful and you want to be known and you want your voice heard, be seen. There's 1,000 different ways. You don't have to stand on a table anymore. You got TikTok. You know, you got all kinds of ways of making
Do
your voice
something
for
to
who you
provide
are.
value.
Yeah, do something to
But
be
you, but
noticed.
you have that
Period.
student government too.
Anymore. You got TikTok. Be seen. There's 1,000 different ways. You don't have to stand on a table anymore. You got TikTok. You know, you got all kinds of ways of making
Do
your voice
something
for who
to
you
provide
are.
value.
You got all kinds of ways of making anymore. You got TikTok. You got all kinds of ways of making
Do
your voice
something
for
to
who you
provide
are.
value.
Yeah, do something to
But
be
you,
noticed.
but you have
Period.
that student government too, and all that, which I
Like, you know.
Okay, I will try. What is this? School?
student council.
Dude, there's all kinds of organizations that they're going to have, and they're going to be different types of organizations. Just go join the organizations, and then you're in.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Okay, I will do that. It's fun. It will get a lot more exposure of how things are done and how life
Yeah.
is.
And how life is.
Yeah, I just didn't want to do all that talking and have to, get people to like me. Well, that just wasn't me. I like to be one of the workers behind the scenes, not the one up front and trying to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, I
I
tell you,
have worked behind the scenes a lot. Now I want to work in the front scene, and we zone that. Zone that. I am social. I want you all to know me and all that.
yeah.
Kind of a leadership kind of a position. I want to do that.
Yeah,
I tell you,
but you know what? Everybody has a place as far as in the world, and there's people that have special gifts that they are better at one thing than the other. Me talking out front is not mine, so I already know that about me.
yeah.
I just find those people who do talk.
No, I tell you.
That about me.
Yeah.
I just find those people who do talk.
No, I tell you, I wasn't either. I was always a behind the scenes actor, very introverted growing up, shy kid, all that. Didn't have a lot of friends, didn't like to talk to people. Well, I like to talk, but it was to my immediate people. That was about it. It wasn't until I was married, had 2 kids, and needed a job. I didn't have a job, couldn't find one, and the one place that was hiring, was one of those places where they give you a duffel bag full of cheap toys and junk, right? Hey, if you guys are just now joining in for this one, you're in for a treat. Just listen. This is a story that I was telling earlier about how I got into sales and marketing and how I started beginning in communications and just being able to be comfortable talking to people. So just listen. Hey, be quiet. That's right. I got a dog down here getting a little snack too. Okay, so sit back and listen to this little nuggetry, guys. The little golden nugget. They have you go to different businesses and selling them to people. And it didn't start off that way. The advertisement said it was for a warehouse position. So I thought, okay, I can go stack boxes or crates or something, make some money. And I get there and they're like, oh, all those positions are filled, but I do have a couple of positions for this. If you guys are interested, we can actually start you today and it's money today. I got 2 kids at home.
They still do that.
Yeah, well, it's a bait and switch. Yeah, it is, and they actually taught us that later on. I ended up going into a leadership program with them, opening up a whole other office and everything else, and leading a whole crew of people. In 2001, I actually had a really big, nice wooden plaque that had my stuff on it that said the #1 top leader award for all of the Western District of Texas, and which covers a huge area. Yeah, oh no, I lost it a couple of divorces ago. But yeah, but I had that for a long time. Yeah, I had it for a long time. It was neat. Anyway, long story short, that's how it became. And I was very embarrassed. And every day that I would go out there, I was very ashamed to even start the day. It's like, how do you walk into some place and just try to sell them some shit? It didn't feel good about yourself or whatever. I don't know. It felt kind of sleazy. It felt kind of dirty. And yeah, and it wasn't like it was cool stuff. This was like, it was cheap Chinese stuff, man. I mean, it was like knockoff everything. We had knockoff PBS stuff. At the time, it was Dora the Explorer and let's see, Arthur. You remember Arthur and the little dinosaurs, or whatever they were, or Dragon Tales? But it was a knockoff.
Yeah.
It wasn't them. It was the knockoff. And we were selling them, and it was like Christmas time, and people were buying them left and right. But I felt so wrong for doing that. I didn't feel like wasn't a lot of dignity in the job. When somebody come and ask me, "Oh, what are you doing these days?" I sell cheap Chinese kid shit. I mean, I didn't like that. Yeah, that wasn't cool. That's not. Now you got to understand. Here I was in my early 20s, right? I was like 20, 21, 22, something like that. And all I knew was most of my friends moved off and went to college and were doing something probably better than that. you know, and they probably didn't respect the guy that was walking up and down the street with a backpack full of toys selling it to people, you know. So I was very kind of ashamed of my job. Yeah, very ashamed of my job. However,
I think it was the best decision because it made you go out of your comfort zone and learn about how to do sales, marketing, and all that.
it did. It actually taught me a lot. It taught me about leadership as well because I ended up running that entire office within about 3 months of being at the company. And then about a year later, opening up my own. And well, I didn't end up opening it. I went and opened it and then left it to somebody else because I was getting a divorce. Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, you know. Anyhow, life happened and whatnot.
You should do stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy. It's not all that funny. It was tragic and horrible. I can just do it with a smile because it was so long ago. You know, it wasn't funny when you go through some of these stories. It's like, oh no, you know. But they were real. Like every one of them's real. Hey. So here we are back again, and I'm reading the chat. I'm reading the stuff. Look, I hear you talking about the pelletized foods and all of that. Look, human fuel. They call it fuel. It's already out there, man. It's already out there. That's really all you need is like a meal replacement, total meal replacement. Just bloom, all of your daily nutrients and all of that kind of stuff in one slam of the shake. You're totally full and can function. Then I think we'll be all right. You know, that's what's going to happen with. By the way, if there's a company out there that's making all that kind of stuff other than Huel, because that's kind of like one of the top tier, hey, I could use a sponsor. Never had one. We could use one. I think we got like 5 watchers, you know. they might want some too. You never know unless you sponsor me and find out.
Fuel, yeah. Julianne,
it's Huel. Okay, so she knows. She's looked into it before. All right. Oh, yeah, we're listening, Julianne. This is totally interactive. Now, I may be caught up in the middle of an edit, but I'm looking, and I'm watching, and I'm hearing, and you're a part of this day with us, and I'm glad you are. Now, back to the edit. Anyhow, so yes, it ended up being a very good decision to do that because first of all, within the first month or so, and think about how old I was. I was 20, 21 years old. Man, I was making $250, $300 in my pocket every day. Every day. Cash money. Wasn't telling nobody about it. It just in my pocket. No taxes, no nothing, baby. I'm an independent contractor working for this old company. Oh, by this time I found out that my boss, the owner of the company, the 2 owners that were partners, were about 3 years younger than me, barely over being teenagers or whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, see, I thought that they were just managing this office for this head guy they were always calling, right? No, it was kind of a network marketing type, or not network, but kind of a pyramid type thing, really. Like they set you up another little office over here, and then they move you into over here, and they get you a little group of people, and yeah, and you're making money off all the other groups that you set up. I mean, it's kind of a cool thing, but you know, multi-level marketing. Wow. That's what it is. It was multi-level marketing.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how I ended up being, you know, top leader award and all this kind of crap. I was good at it, but it was the only thing that made me good at it is after about a month of doing it, I quit being ashamed of telling people what I did because I knew that I was carrying around more money in my pocket than they were. That's it.
Wow.
No matter, and I had friends that worked at the bank. Right, they were tellers at the bank. You got out of school, they're working at the bank, been there for 2 or 3 years, whatever it is. Now they got an office sitting back there doing loans. They ain't making shit. They ain't making nothing. They're making like $9, $10, $11 an hour, maybe. I'm walking around for 3 hours in the morning, collecting, you know, $1,200, something like that. Going home, smoking weed all day long, going back out about 8 o'clock at night, and I'll go to a couple of bars and parking lots that are busy, hit that up, do some night merchant with some neat stuff, sell some watches and some crazy stuff, make another $800-900. Now, out of that, about 200 to 300 of that total out of that day would have been mine. But it was a couple hours here, a couple hours there. I didn't have to do anything crazy. It was just talking to people, and they gave me money, and I went back to the warehouse the next day and restocked the car. So, yeah, in the end,
it was kind of door-to-door salesman. Kind of door-to-door salesman.
It really was. Now, at first, they advertised it as a B2B, wholesale sales. Like we're supposed to go to businesses and try to do it specifically from our business to their business. No, that's how that was the ruse. Is you start off at the shopping center and you going door to door to door, hitting up every employee and every customer in that place and in the parking lot. Yeah, and then you go on to the next one before they call the cops. You do it again. But yeah.
Oh no.
Well, I mean that's what it is, because somebody's going to call the cops on you for soliciting you. Remember, you didn't go by yourself. You got a team of people with you. There's like 4 of you guys all hitting the same place, and there might be 2 crew. You might be one on one corner and another crew on the other corner. You got 8 guys hitting one spot, pop, 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 because they know that it's one of those hot times. Everybody's hitting the spot. It's a new group of people. So, I mean, it becomes a routine thing for us. But look at the smile. It was fun. It was fun. It was so much fun and humiliating at the same time. Yeah, I mean, it truly is.
Oh my.
Well, I mean, when you think about what you have to tell people you do, and then the actual action of what you're doing, it's kind of humiliating at that stage in life. You're not 16 anymore. You're not 16 out there being a goofy. Now, at the same time, you are running around in a suit and tie every single day, right? And you're commanding a group of people. Like I got there every morning to the office and did a sales meeting, and then had a 15 to 20 minute little diatribe I'd go on, teaching them something, motivating them, and riling them up for the day before I'd send them out on on a mission. And that's what it was. And I'd line them out. This is your area of the day. I want you here. I want this car here, this car here, this car here. 3 of you guys. You got 2 leaders over there. We got 8 people on each side of the city. Let's do it. Tomorrow we're going to swap spots, and we're going to flip-flop, and this side's going to be. I want numbers to see what we're doing. And then they'd come in and tell me, oh, it's already hit. Y'all hit it all yesterday, and there's no money out there for us today because it's the same people. So then I'd have to go into they think about that, and it's true. All businesses have their customers. It's the same customers every darn day, every week, every month, because those are today, because it's the same people. So then I'd have to go into they think about that, and it's true. All businesses want numbers to see what we're doing. And I really worried very hard throughout my entire life about the possibility of getting Alzheimer's one day. Got sidetracked in my brain. Never brain, it's completely blank, and I lose my train of thought here and there. But for the most part, each place has its deal. Now I lost my spot. Yeah, anyhow, I lost my spot. Yeah, I don't has its deal. Yeah, it's me and you. Okay, so this next segment that we're going into is kind of an interesting one, I think. It's something that I don't really talk about in public often, but it was part of a conversation that I had today. So if you guys, pay attention. This might be you. I don't know. But it's something that's worried me and been a condition my entire life. So if you've had similar thoughts or issues or what have you, I'd like to know it. Let us know in the comments. Now I lost my spot. Yeah, anyhow, I lost my spot. Yeah, I don't remember what in the hell I was saying.
How you don't remember? You were just saying.
That's part. Look, it's part of the condition. I do that. I don't. You had never noticed that. Look, I lose my train of thought.
Yeah.
It comes back to me. It does come back to me. And once I catch it, it comes all the way back. And in truth, I have feared for a very, very, very long time. Now, this has been going on my entire life. My dad used to give me hell about it when I was a teenager. I do. It loses my mind. It is gone. Whatever it is I was thinking about completely disappears from my brain. It's completely blank, and I'm actually at a loss, and it scares me and worries me that I'll not be able to remember. I've actually worried very hard throughout my entire life about the possibility of getting Alzheimer's one day and losing my mind, because I do very frequently lose my mind. It's usually for seconds. It's for seconds at a time, or a minute or two, or just until I get back on track. As soon as I get that little memory jog, it's boom, and it never left. I didn't forget it. I just got sidetracked in my brain. Never forgotten anything. Yeah, I've never forgotten anything.
Yeah.
I can tell you. As a matter of fact, I've got a video from Christmas where I was telling my mother a story, and when I was done telling her the story, she said, "Well, son, you weren't 8-9 months old when that happened."
Wow.
Yeah, I just get derailed. I get derailed. So,
kind of
derailed. I get derailed.
Derail, yeah.
Yeah.
about next step and next what to do.
I
What
guess
to
so.
say, kind of.
I've actually had
I
a
think
couple
that's
of
right.
doctors tell me as an adult that if I thoughts and do them all, I shouldn't have had to say as many words to say.
He was always losing his driver's license and stuff.
Yeah, most people do. They can't function
he
like
was-
that. To say as many words to say it to you.
See, now you develop your brain and do the ESP thing and then just beam it into our head so you don't have to
I have
say it.
been I have been interested.
See, now you
Next what to do.
I
What to
guess
say,
so.
kind of.
I've actually had
I
a
think
couple
that's
of
right.
doctors.
see, now you develop your brain and do the ESP thing and then just beam it into our head so you don't have to
I
say
have
it.
been I have been interested in that my entire life. My entire life, I've been interested
Yeah.
in telekinesis, telekinetics, all kinds of those types of abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I just wanted to come to you guys that may just be tuning into the show. Today, what I'm working on behind the scenes kind of is I'm here in the office, here in the home studio, doing a little bit of editing from a conversation that we had earlier today with some of my club members. We do mentorship, education, and sometimes we just kick it at the clubhouse. Later on, these conversations generally will turn out to be some sort of short form content. That's what I'm creating today. I am a small business owner, investor, educator, mentor, and builder of many, many things. That's why I decided to come to you guys live. I figure a lot of these things are things that you may have wondered what it looks like. What does it look like to be a YouTuber? What does it look like to be an investor? What does it look like to be an entrepreneur? Right? All of these phrases, these words, these titles, right? We may have, misunderstandings, you know, connotations in our mind that may or may not be right as to what that job actually entails, right? Um, when I tell people that I'm a managing partner of an investment group and I look like this, that usually strikes them funny, you know. Truth of the matter is, when you do that kind of work, you can do it from home most of the time, and you can look like whatever you want to. I can do my work from my underwear if I wanted. However, I kind of like to come to you guys on video, and you don't want to see me in my underwear. So, so I'm going to get back to doing this edit. I'm glad that you guys are watching. Share it with your friends. Hit the subscribe button. Let some folks know what's going on here. We will be coming to you guys live very regularly. During the daytime, we've got a business that we run that is a wholesale toy distribution company here in San Antonio, Texas. and I will do my best to be live with that as well, so that you can see what that business is like. It's actually pretty funny. I tried to do it the other day, and I kept losing connection on Facebook. We'll try to do it with with this way. If not, you have to keep watching the little clips that we're putting out. So back to the edit. Enjoy the conversation. Try to retain some of the little golden pieces of nuggetry, golden nuggets of wisdom that might be inside some of this stuff. You'll hear it first before the rest of the people have to watch it in a short. That's what it is. Enjoy. About 15 years ago. Now, you know what? You know what? You just
You can bend a spoon?
hang on a
So
minute.
you
No,
want to bend
but
a spoon for us?
have I ever shown you any of my paperwork that I've all of this stuff? I wrote plans for all of this 15 years ago. 15 years ago. And now, 15 years ago, what I wrote was a plan for what I just heard 2 days ago is coming out on the market. And I think Apple's doing it. And it is not the same way. Apple's not doing it the same way, but they're doing it. It is a brain to computer interface. Okay. You think now let me explain. You think about I can tell the computer to access and this needs to be like neural cortex or create some sort of propaganda or false memory or false ideas or false belief systems. Yeah. Now, what I actually wanted to do was also create that to where it extended to where we can visually see what that transmission looks like on screen. Just like if you were to have a dream. Okay. When we have a dream, we do not visualize. We don't actually see it the way that we see it. We see it in flashing pictures. It's very, very seldom is it a movie of moving and like an MP4 of a moving. You can see your thoughts, right?
Okay.
Sure.
Clues.
Say it again.
Some clues he's giving or something.
I don't know.
Pictures and all. The pictures you're talking, some ideas he's giving or what? I didn't understand that.
Yeah, just like a thought. Just like you can see your thoughts in your head.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah. You can see your thoughts, right?
Okay.
Sure.
No,
He says no. Actually, you know what? Work on that. work on imagining.
I feel
Use
like
your
I
imagination.
I don't know.
What's the coolest place you've ever been to?
Coolest place? I don't think so.
What's
coolest place? Travel wise, Hong Kong. Hong Kong was cool.
What did it look like?
There was huge building, kind of a New York kind of a situation, but not New York.
What was your favorite thing about it?
Favorite thing about it? To explore the city.
Yeah, did you like the buildings? Where there's the buildings and the people, the culture, all the artwork, stuff like that? Do you remember what it looks like? Can you tell me what it looked like?
No, I was very young that time. I don't have much memories.
You're making this hard on me. Jesus Christ, he gives me a memory from so far I can't remember it. Okay, never mind. We're going to skip that lesson. The point is, you're making this hard on me.
I don't have much memories.
Me, Jesus Christ, he gives me a memory from so far I can't remember it. Okay, never mind. We're going to skip that lesson. The point is, start to learn to use your imagination, boy. Look, if you can't picture it, here's the thing. It's just like working out. You can go do all the push-ups you want to, but if you can't, if you can't visually see and visualize your body changing, you won't.
Try to visualize.
Yeah, you won't. Look, hey, when it comes to building anything, yes, it's in here. It's in here.
Okay. you some more questions afterwards. You can explain me what visualization and how to do it, how to start kind
I'm
of.
going to chat
When you are free.
GPT some visualization lessons for you. That's what I'm going to do. How to use your imagination to build success. How to visualize
We can start
success.
video also.
See
on
it,
that.
believe it. Sure. Hey, that's something that I totally believe in. See it and believe it. See
On
it,
that.
believe it. Sure. Hey, that's
So
see
on
it.
we can start video also.
See
on
it,
that.
believe it. Sure. Hey, that's something that I totally believe in is see it and believe it. Believe it here before you can do anything. Now, you both have seen the images. Y'all both knew I was working. I never made it to competitive, but I was working to be a competitive bodybuilder at one point. And I didn't look bad. I had some pretty good sized everything. Everything. And I will say, when I started off, I was 138 pounds, right? Didn't have any muscle, didn't have anything. I mean, it was skinny as a rail. I'm 5'9", 130 something pounds, dude. It was horrible. And I ended up at 224 pounds of solid steel and looked great. I will tell you that every day when I would sit there and do a curl, I would watch my bicep move as it would go and visualize it getting bigger. You know, every day when I'm doing a push-up and you're starting to get tired, you don't visualize, pushing yourself up off the ground. You'll never get there. What you do is visualize pushing the world away from you. You push the world away from you. That's strength. Yeah, and that's exactly. Sometimes my wife loves it. She'll sit there when we're in bed and she'll rub her hands with chest. She said, "Ooh, I like that part right there." And I said, "You know what that is? That's the part where I hooked that chain." And I told her, I said, "That's where I hooked up that chain for years." She said, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Look, when I was at that at the end of my rope, couldn't go anymore. That's what I would imagine in my brain when I wanted to push more, was that I would hook in a chain right here to the center of my chest, and it was connected to the center of the earth. And that's exactly what I would do, was push the earth away from my body. And by doing that, I developed some decent muscles. Okay? My point is that if you can see it, if you can visualize it, you can achieve it. But if you can't see it, you'll never get there. If you can't see the end of the tunnel, you'll never go through it. If you can't see the ribbon at the end of the road, it don't matter if you're blindfolded, you'll never know you made it. It wouldn't matter. You have to visualize that goal, right? And then take the steps.
Visualize that goal, believe in that goal.
Believe it. Be able to see it. Visualize it. Like literally visualize it. See it in your head. Here's the thing. It. Like literally visualize it. See it in your head. Here's the thing. What does your perfect day look like?
Okay, I have to think about it.
No, right now. What does your perfect day look like?
Look like doing things I love and building relationships with a lot of people.
Well, that's wonderful. Tell me exactly how that happens from the time you get up to the time you go to bed. I want to know what the perfect day is like.
Okay,
Tell me the
perfect day is
story.
like. Okay,
Hey, for those of you that are out there watching this live, take note of what's happening here. This is a kid giving me a bullshit answer, and that's how you work through it, right? I think he gave me the best thing he could give me. He didn't really know. He didn't understand the depth of what I was asking. So, but that is it. We get that a whole lot with coaching, consulting, educating, mentorship. It's some BS answers. They tell us what they think we want to hear, and it's not at all the actual thing. So, just let's get back to it. I just wanted to leave you guys on a note of what's happening there, a little cliff note of what's going on.
okay, I have to think about it.
Well, what's your favorite time of year? Summer, spring, fall? What's your favorite time of weather?
My spring spring is my favorite time.
So you
Favorite
wake up
weather.
on a spring morning. You wake up on a spring morning,
Yeah.
right there in your home. And
Okay.
what does it smell like on a spring morning? What is it like in your home when you wake up on a spring morning and the sun's coming through the window? The first thing, right after the sun comes up, about 8:30, you should have already been up. But it looks real nice and real pretty, and the trees are looking bright. What does it smell like?
Smell like it smell kind of very floral because of flowers and they are blooming
Do you have a lot of flowers where you're
and
at?
yeah.
That's nice. So what do you hear? Are there any sounds when you wake up? What about your
Yeah.
family or the birds? What do you?
Birds chirping,
Yeah.
uh, birds, birds, squirrels, all the animals.
Well, that's pretty nice. So what about mom, dad, sister, all that? Are they hanging out? This is your perfect day, man. I mean, what's going on? Did they make you breakfast? Are you all fixing to go somewhere together? What does the perfect day look like? Or is everybody dead and you got some whole other group of people? I don't know what your perfect day is like. You got to tell me.
I have never thought about this scenario. I will think about it.
Okay, I'll
We'll
tell you what.
see.
That's your homework, man. That's your homework. Figure out
Okay.
right now. Now, we're not talking about 10 years from now. We're not talking about when you're all grown up. But right now, today, if it could be,
Yeah.
if it could be your
What's
perfect day, I just want to know what it looks like.
yes.
And out
Okay.
right now. Now, we're not talking about 10 years from now. We're not talking about when you're all grown up. But right now, today, if it could be,
Yeah.
if it could be your,
What's birds, squirrels, all the animals.
well, that's pretty nice. So what about mom, dad, sister, all that? A whole other group of people. I don't know what your perfect day is like. You got to tell me.
I have never thought.
And then I got a wonderful hot girlfriend at the end of the day. I don't know. You're in high school. You have all kinds of perfect days.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at. There's no right and there's
Okay.
no wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no right and there's no wrong. It's just
Okay.
it's create one, write the story of what it looks like to you, right? Because that gives you a visualization of a goal to have in mind. That's what it is. You're just painting the picture of if there was a perfect day, this is what it looks like.
Yes.
Yeah, and now that I know what it
Okay.
looks like, what steps do I take to make that happen? Right? That's the
Okay.
next thing is now that I know what it looks like, what steps do I take to make that happen? Because that is my perfect day. So how do we make the perfect day? And if it's nothing
Yes.
crazy, right? If it's nothing crazy, you probably just do it, right? Anyway, the idea is it's real easy to do some of these things once you've actually visualized them. Once you've actually sat back and
Yeah.
thought about the details, visualized it in your mind, and understood what it is that you want, then
Yes.
you can go forward and
Right.
get it. But you can't go get something that you don't know what's there. Hey, back at you again. So here we are in between clips, and I'm just wanting to hop back in here, seeing what's going on with you guys in the chat. If there's anything specific that you've heard that you'd like to comment on, if there's something that you've seen on the show tonight that interests you or you'd like me to dive deeper in, by all means, drop it down in the comments and let's talk about it. Other than that, thanks for watching. Thanks for logging in. Hey, give a little like, a share, a subscribe. The channel can always use it. We can always use the help. As a matter of fact, that's why we're going live, is we want to be here to show you the actual real deal live content, real time, how these things are done. And you guys are watching a real video edit with me. Now, I'm not a professional. I'm just some regular guy working from his home studio, cutting a Discord conversation that we had today into a whole bunch of segments so that we can put it out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and everything else, right? Because that's what you do when you're a business owner, is you use these little clips and pieces of content for marketing, right? To show the world what it is that you do, to let the public know the type of thing that happens in your realm, right? So that's what we're doing, guys. And I'm going to get back to this edit. Thanks for watching so far. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. I think we are probably about 30 minutes away from the end of the actual video. So I'm going to say probably about 15 minutes left in the cut, and we'll be back to it. In case you're wondering, that's my beautiful dog Sparky down there. Wait, is that Sparky? Yeah, that's. How did he get back? Oh, that's a delayed footage. Okay, that was my beautiful dog Sparky back there. I'm looking at the wrong camera, at the wrong monitor, the wrong everything. But that's all right. We're going to get back to that edit now. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yes. You know what you want and you can achieve it through that.
That's it. I hope that was helpful. I know
Yes,
that's
it
an
was
exercise.
helpful.
That's an exercise I've been asked several times when I've done sales conventions and marketing conventions. Is being asked, what is your ideal day look like? And it truly is to get yourself in the mindset of visualizing the end goal, and then working backwards to figure out those little steps on how to get to it. So you think about that. I do want you to tell me though, just a nice couple of paragraphs.
You can tell me. Yeah, okay. Okay, I will do that, and we can do that in next one. My teacher is here. I have to go. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day. There we go. I was actually trying to get off here just to
So here's a teacher that comes to his house?
Yeah.
But each culture is very... I was thinking about what you said about the new technology of Apple, and that made me think about Stephen Hawking, because and I had to look up how he talked, because he did, and I thought,
it being much like the Matrix. Well, when I say that, I mean in the fact not actually plugged in like jacked.
I was thinking about what you said about the new. Okay. And I thought, what had it? And it was a muscle in his cheek that somehow the computer, whatever, because you remember he was in a wheelchair, nonverbal, but yet communicated.
You're right. So they had the technology.
Yeah, they had other, but they didn't plug into his brain, which would have been even more interesting, but nobody thought about it, or maybe at that time it was still too early.
Yeah. In my mind, I imagine it being much like the Matrix. Well, when I say that, I mean in the fact not actually plugged in like jacked in, but I do think that if we have a transmitter receiver system, in between a computer system and then our brain, that's injected into us, we should be able to.
Yeah.
I want to know kung fu, and I know kung fu. I mean, it should be that simple as far as to download information. Now, as far as practical knowledge, no, but instructional and just that.
Yeah. In their head, they didn't physically fight that because you can't learn it that way.
That's right.
But it's very similar in that. Time.
Sure, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you. I'm going to be doing some little TikTok stuff coming up, and it's just little short 1 or 2 minute videos. Maybe 5 or 10, but probably
floor and write it up. It's like, I guess it's just a thought. Other than being in the project, sometimes I'm just like, I just want a quick, easy way to know stuff, or even if I just don't do a project, but do the ones that are already out there. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, those are starting to become stable.
Sure.
And those, are related to project. Ripple, even though the XRP, as the new ones come out, people want, it's like, I guess it's just the thought process of what you do when you're trying to do all this stuff.
Sure.
It just gets overwhelming because right now there is no guidebook or anything. It's just like pretty much how Sushir was like, how do you know? It was like, it's like what I guess what is it? How do you know? No guidebook or anything because right now there is no.
So, for those of you just logging in between clips, in between little edits, I'm popping back in, talking to you guys about a few things. What I'm doing is actually cutting an hour and a half video from earlier today, a conversation I had with several of the members of my club, and turning it into some short form content for you guys, and just kind of showing you the behind the scenes of what that looks like. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and you're getting to see the alpha, right? This is the uncut version of all of the shorts and the material that the mass public will get to see. And you're watching the actual editing software that I use, which is a very basic program. I mean, everything I'm doing here, John Q. Public can do it. I don't use any paid programs to do any of this kind of stuff. It's free. And, it's simple, but it's working. It's working. I mean, we're panning back and forth views. We're injecting media. We're doing all sorts of things on this stream. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are enjoying this content, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the share button. Let your friends know that you're here. We're going to be going live like this regularly. I'd love for you to be notified if you'd hit that bell button. So that you can come and join in with us. I like it to be interactive. If you happen to look down in the live chat and you see the lovely Denise Martinez, that is my lovely other half that you will be seeing regularly on video. And she helps out manage the live chat because really, look, I'm not a professional. It's hard for me to do all this and all that. However, sometimes I do pop in and type it myself. Other than that, she's there helping me man the live chat. She's talking to you guys. She's making sure that your questions are answered, that your comments are not going unseen, and that we get to you, as promptly as we possibly can. Now, that being said, she's also a very busy woman, and sometimes she has to just go do other things and can't be doing that. So if you have to wait a little while to be have your comment heard, just wait a little while. It's what it is. Hey, we're glad you're here watching, man. Some of you guys must not like that. You just dropped off. So, okay, I don't apologize for being me. Let's get back to editing this stuff. Hope you enjoy me.
Guidebook or anything. It's just like pretty much how Sushir was like, how do you know? It was like, it's like what I guess what are the things that you should put in your brain?
Sure. To me, it's developing the strategy, right? And it's about formulating the strategy before you pull a plug on any of that. And if it's going to be buying a business, the questions that I ask myself are, first of all, what industry do I want this business to be in, right? Because it could be in any industry, right? But you need to kind of have an idea of what you're looking for, right? Or what you know about. So then it's the question of, well, what industries do I actually know anything about? Like, what do I have knowledge in? Well, this, and this. Okay, well, that's something to put on the list. And then it's, well, what industries do I have connections in? Because that's a different thing, right? Right. And then it's, well, what industries do I actually like? Right. So those are different.
Yeah.
All things different. What do I like? What do I know? What do I have connections in? And what do I have experience in? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Practical knowledge and then physical knowledge, different things. Like I've done this in application. I've done this thing. I know this. Right. 4 different types of knowledge.
Okay.
So once I say what all categories fit these bills, then I put them in a list. And you look from there and kind of try to decide which ones overlap the ones that you like, right? So that you know that you're in something that you enjoy. And then it's okay. Well, now that I know that I'm interested in this sector or this industry or this particular field, right? It's what is my acquisition criteria? That's it. It's what makes a good deal for me. See, because every person is different. For me, for me to fit my criteria, it was I need the business to generate between $1 and $5 million gross annual a year, right? Gross. It needs to be between 250,000 and 500,000 minimum SDE, which is pass through, right? That ensures that not only do we actually make profit from day one, but we also have enough to cover our debt service, right? Because there's going to be payments, there's going to be all kinds of things, there's employment, there's cost, there's working money, working capital. All those things need to be there. So I need to make sure that number's right. So hang on. Acquisition criteria. So 1 to 5 million, 250 to 5 at SDE. Business needs to be minimum 7 to 10 years old so that I know that the business actually has longevity and it's proven, right? Most average small businesses only last 8 to 10 years, period. That's it. Average small business, 8 to 10 years, that's the lifespan of the business. It's not that it just failed, it's that that was the lifespan of the business. It's just, it's over. So the people died, people retired, people moved on to other things, whatever. I mean, it was a small business, it had its life. So if you know that and you're going in to buy a business that's 8 years old, is it on the way down or is it good and profitable and still in a growth mode, right? That's something you need to look at. Look at the age of it. So the way I see it is if it makes 1 to 5 million a year, if it generates, $250,000 to $500,000 in my pocket, if it's been around for 7 to 10 years, right, and still around, right, that's good, and then must have been profitable for the past 3 consecutive years. So now we've got longevity and we've got a time frame on it. For the past 3 years it had to have been profitable. Can't be all on the downcline looking like it's dying, all that kind of stuff. Must be good in the profit, all that kind of stuff. Still generating X, still bringing this in, had the lifespan of X. If it meets those criteria, then we possibly have a good company. And the only way you know from that is to go forward with your research. But that, for me, if it has those things, then I know that it will work, right? And it must have a full management team in place. I don't want to buy a job. I don't want to buy a business to where I'm scouting for talent, okay? I want to go into something that's profitable already, that already works, that already generates income, that is in a field that I'm comfortable with, but that has a team that already does the job. I don't need to walk in and tell them how to do their job. I just want to take over ownership of the company and draw the money on it. That's it. I'm not here to be an asshole and change the world. It's to go in and buy something that already worked. They're already doing a great job. Now, if there's something that we could do to make it better, we could do that. But the whole idea of buying the company we bought is because we liked the company we bought. Okay, so we have completed that edit. That was an hour and a half long video that we pushed through. You guys watched it with me. You guys watched. I think you watched it for about 2 hours. I'm not sure exactly how long we've been on here, but it's been quite a while. I probably should have had my time. Oh, I do have a timer. 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 35 seconds is how long it took us to edit a 1 hour and 30 some odd minute video. Now, we have not completed it. All we did was chop it into several. We took one really long form video and we chopped it into multiple long form videos of all about 2, 3, 4 minutes long. Um, After this, we will go further down. Now, I'm going to retire this evening. We've had dinner, we've done that. I've sat for 2.5 hours with you guys editing videos. I will be coming back to you tomorrow morning around 6 a.m. ish right, to do the morning wake up routine just like this. I'll be in the old PJs and I'll be checking emails and talking to you back and forth, drinking coffee and smoking weed and doing what I do in the morning. Um, so that's what it is. If you guys are interested in that kind of content, you want to see what it's like to get up in the day, what a real business owner does, in the morning, and how you manage time, how all of the things that are associated. People ask me every day, how do you do all of that? And really, to me, it doesn't seem like I'm doing all that much. Most of it is I'm sitting right here either talking to you guys or working on the computer some way or another or taking a phone call or making a Zoom meeting. And that's once I get done from the normal daytime chores of taking care of errands and animals and everything else, as we go further, you guys will learn more about what all we do here. And I hope you really enjoy this type of content. So, hey, hit that like button, hit that smash button. It's been a pleasure being here with you this evening. It is now 9:33. You've been watching Christopher C. Day. And, hey, have a good night. We'll see you on the flip side.